back in the studio, and I'm so pleased to welcome Roy O'Connor, who's on our national, not our national board.
Greenspring board.
Yes, and he represents us well, I know. So, Roy, what have you got to share with us this morning?
Well, just say good morning, Fran. Good to see you again.
Good to have you.
You know, often residents ask me about what takes place at some of our board meetings, and so I thought I'd talk a little bit about that this morning and some of the other things that are going on.
That's important because many people don't know, and many new people haven't a clue that even exists. So.
Yeah. Well, most recently, on August 20th, we had a board meeting up at Riderwood. It's actually the Mid-Atlantic Communities, which is basically Greenspring, our sister campus, Ashby Ponds, Riderwood, and Oakcrest up in Maryland, all meet at the same time.
Is Charleston also part of that?
Charlestown is not part of the Mid-Atlantic.
Oh.
They actually have a separate board of directors.
Oh, okay.
But they are our oldest community, as you know, over 30 years. But anyway, I attended the meeting, so it wasn't too long ago, on the 20th of August. At that meeting, the executive directors from each of the 4 communities that I mentioned give a mid-year report, going through all kinds of measurements that are made. And I find that Greenspring is in good position at this time, and so it was good to hear the reports. Again, some of the residents like to know about what's going on in some of the other communities. I can tell you that basically the occupancy remains strong in most of the other communities. You take a look, for example, we reported at the end of July our occupancy for independent living was just below 98%. Which is really good.
That's good.
You know, for about 10 years, we have been running at 99%, and so that continues. But Ashby Ponds, which has opened some new buildings this year, is around 93%. Riderwood is running about the same, 92.9. And then Oakcrest, which is a community about our size, they have about 2,000 residents. They're up on the east side of Baltimore, and they're running 98.5%. So
good.
These are all higher than a lot of the industry average. And so occupancy, as you know, is pretty important.
It is.
To keep the occupancy high. It helps the financials, which remain very, very strong. And in the case of Greenspring, you know, Ben and our finance director, Justin Reeves, attended the meeting also, along with our sales director, Eric Whitson. But we're able to report that the budget is in good shape in both revenue and also expenses are under control, so that's good. One of the really big items at the meeting is that we had a full review by the Erickson corporate staff of our first big repositioning project, which is Garden Ridge. That staff went through what they call a program evaluation review, and they look at all the details. They compare, of course, our facilities to the competitors in the area, and look at all the things that we're planning to do. Now, it's interesting because the Erickson, the new Erickson company, I refer to it as new because, you know, since 2010, Jim Davis has took over. Well, since that time, they've been very, very busy, and they have built 5 new continuing care centers or extended care centers, you know, that house the assisted living, the skilled nursing, and memory care. So they've gotten a lot of experience in that. So we have the benefit of all of that know-how, which they use in reviewing the project. So what's happening with Garden Ridge? Well, they approved, the board, after hearing the report, approved to go ahead on it. We're going to add a new wing to it. Now, the original plans, when they built Greenspring 17 years ago, were to include another wing. And it's the only place really left that we had to expand.
Well, that was good thinking for the future.
It is. And it's going to enable us to do a lot of things. it's going to be a 4-story addition on the back side of Garden Ridge. So the courtyard, if you're familiar with it, as you look now, it's kind of open at the end. It will enclose the back side of the courtyard. 4-story addition. The plan is to actually build 90 new rooms in that. Now these will be larger than the current existing rooms with private baths in all those rooms. And that's the first major project, and that's big. And it's important that we get started on it, and so that was approved. And then after they finish that, then they're going to go back and retrofit all the rooms that currently exist, which is another 195. Okay, and they're going to basically enlarge the assisted living apartments so that we'll now have, instead of just a 1-room suite, we'll have like a little bedroom and then a little sitting room in each one, and private showers will be installed in all units.
Well,
now,
that's a huge
and having
project.
these 90 new rooms, it enables us to start doing a little checkers game, you know what I mean? We'll have to move residents from the current wings over into the new rooms, renovate, a floor at a time. So it's a big project.
Oh, it's huge.
And while they're at it, they're going to upgrade a lot of the amenities, the dining, and they're going to add new elevators, okay, at the back of the building, and also one in the front of the building. So this is really a big, big project.
Oh, it is. I understand that all of the therapy programs, physical therapy, et cetera, will be moved to a space adjoining that or in that?
Well, there is one adjustment to that. There was some plans originally, way back. We've been in this process for 3 years now.
Yeah.
started the master plan in 2012. Green Spring was the first Erickson community to have a master plan. And originally the thought was to move outpatient therapy over to Garden Ridge also. But we found that with the needs that we have for adjusting all the rooms, we're not going to do that.
It won't work.
So in a way, I think this is a win-win. The outpatient therapy will stay in Hunters Crossing.
Oh, okay.
And at the meeting, I can tell the residents that I emphasize, we want it. That's fine. That's fine. But I want to make sure we have the dollars in the budget to do the refreshing and the enhancements that we need there in Hunters Crossing. So that's nice because it's more convenient. Some residents were concerned about having to get on a shuttle bus to ride to Garden Ridge to do the therapy. Well, you can relax. We're not moving the outpatient. But we are going to improve and enlarge on the existing inpatient therapy at Garden Ridge. So therapy will be right up there and
I'm sure.
in top condition. So again, we had a lot of discussion at the project at that time, and I think a good conclusion came out of it. So we got to go ahead. Right now, the plan is hopefully break ground before year end. So we'd like to break ground. It's going to take us about a year to build that new wing.
So that delays the other piece of the.
Exactly. Now the second repositioning project is Town Center, and I could just mention at this time that the Town Center project has really been kind of slowed down due to the revision in the design. I'm sure that Ben, our executive director, will be sharing with the residents the new design when it's complete. But it appears that what we're going to do is we're doing some revisions. There will be a smaller footprint in the courtyard than the original plan, but we are going to have a nice new pool with a nice gradual ramp to get into it.
I hope it gets done in time for me to have a swim in it.
Oh yeah, hopefully it will be, right. Right now, I think the board likely will review plans either at our November meeting or our February meeting in terms of the upgraded new design plans for Town Center. That will probably follow, and I believe it's going to be at least a year behind, the Garden Ridge. So probably we're talking beginning on that maybe in 2017. Okay. Some of the best laid plans go aside, but I mean that's the latest. That's the latest information.
And we don't talk about soon, right?
No, we don't say soon. We don't say soon. While at the meeting, Ben also updated the board on the work that will be done to ensure that we have the proper insulation in the attics. We have to build on what was already done last year. An engineering firm has been here. They've been assessing it. Some of the residents may have seen there's a boom lift that's been moving around, and what they're doing is they're going up and they're looking under the eaves into the low roof areas to see any other possible areas that need to be fixed. And so that's moving along. The objective is to get the work done before
the snow flies.
Before the snow flies, certainly before the temperatures drop.
Right.
That's a very, very high priority project, and we're going to get it done before the winter season. By the way, talk about anniversaries. Oakcrest is celebrating its 20-year anniversary. Okay.
We're not far behind.
No, and then we're 17 this year. We opened in 1998. Riderwood is at its 15-year mark, so we're kind of in between them. The other thing that I heard at the meeting is some people may find of interest is that Ericsson has opened a sales office in Matthews, North Carolina, which is a little suburb outside of Charlotte.
I saw that notice in the Tribune.
Okay, you saw that, okay. And it's called Windsor Run. So they're going to go ahead and they'll be building a continuing care retirement community in Matthews, North Carolina. I don't expect the first units will be available until at least 2017, okay, what we were told. By the way, our financials remain very strong. As you know, I'm on the investment committee for NSC. As of the end of July, we still had, let's see, $106.7 million in our long-term reserves.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, the market's been very volatile this year. We're still on the positive side. We're about 1% up for the year. It was higher in the spring, but we're kind of getting through this dip here in the summer area. But we're in solid shape there, and we're up 6.4% compounded annually since October 2009 when we started the whole investment plan. My other area, you know, is diversity and inclusion, and I feel very fortunate. You know, talk about being in the right place at the right time. I just joined that committee in the spring, and we've been informed that Green Spring will be receiving the Hobart-Jackson Cultural Diversity Award at Leading Age's annual meeting in November.
Oh, that's terrific.
And this is because of all the programs and support that we have here from both a employee and a resident standpoint to promote inclusion and to thrive on the cultural diversity that exists. So it's a great honor.
It is.
And I say I cannot take any credit for it, other than I'm a resident just like you. And
well,
we're here to enjoy all of this. But this will be awarded, and Ben Cornwaith, our exec director, will be at that meeting to receive the award. And it happens that I'm going to actually attend the meeting too, but that was separately, so it's just, I think it'd be a very, very good recognition. You know, a couple of years ago, Robin Gliboff received the award from Leading Age for our development program.
Yeah, I remember
for employees.
that, yes.
So this is really good news.
Yeah.
A couple more things here, I guess.
Go ahead. We
almost
run out of time.
Okay.
But
well, the resident survey started this week.
Yes.
I encourage everyone to participate. You know,
please participate, everybody.
Absolutely. We had very good results last year, but we'd like to continue that, and we'd like to get the participation up. This is your chance, really, to give your input, make your comments, and you know, this is just such a great place to live, and I think we need that feedback. The feedback goes to both management and to the board. The board reviews this, and it's very, very important. So,
and whether it's negative or positive for you, I mean, put it in there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, Signature Dining is about to be with us. I say to the residents, continue with your patience. The staff's working very hard. The new equipment has been installed in your kitchens in both Woodlands and Fireside. This is a big program, but I think, you know, there may be a few bumps in the road as we go through, but it's in the long run for the benefit of the residents.
Definitely.
And so we're going to improve on
Don't
something.
make a judgment until you've tried it.
Yeah, there you go. I think it covered most of the points in the meeting that I wanted to cover, and unless you have any other questions.
No, our time really is gone, but I'm so happy you were here, Roy, and brought us all that information. And I know that Ben will be speaking next week. It's not the usual Coffee with Ben, but in different places, so watch for that and try to attend one of those meetings.
Right.
And don't forget the gala is coming up, and if you haven't really decided, make your decision and go, because I know you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great theme this year.
And if you can't go, you know, make a contribution because it's such a good cause.
Absolutely. And if I may, I just want to say again to the residents that it's my privilege to serve as the resident director and represent you. And it's good. I think I enjoy the work, and I know it's important that we want to keep this place a great place that it is to live. So
well,
thanks being with
and
you.
we're pleased to have you doing that for us. Thank you so much, Roy. And thank you for coming this morning. So that was very...